Now let's see what is switch statement. A switch statement allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values. Each value is called a case in switch, and the variable being switched on is checked for each switch case. This is also called as multi-way selection statement. So this is the syntax for switch statement, where we use the keyword switch, and between the parentheses we write the choice or the constant. So between these two curly braces we write all different cases in the switch statement. Suppose the constant what we are reading here, the choice, is matching with the constant 1, then the control will come to the case 1 and execute this block of statement. If the choice is not matching with constant 1, suppose it is matching with constant 2, then automatically the control will directly go to the constant 2, skipping the constant 1. So then the statement 2 will be executed. Like this, it will go on checking whether the choice is matching with which constant or which case. Then the control will go directly to that particular case and execute that particular block of statement. The only difference between both if-else ladder and switch is, though both are multi-way selection, in if-else ladder all the if condition will be tested until it becomes false, and then the default part will be executed. But in switch statement, it will check the choice with which it is matching. Only that constant will be, only that case will be executed. And also there is default part in switch, which is an optional part. If all these cases constants are not matching with the choice what we are reading, then it will go directly to the default part and execute those statements written in the default part. So when we are using switch statements, you have to remember these two keywords. One is switch, another is break. So break is the keyword which helps us to come out of the switch statement. So now let us see how to write the flowchart for switch statement. First we write the expression or test condition, and next we will write different cases and the code in front of that case. Suppose this expression is matching with the case 1, then the control will come to only that particular case and execute only that particular block followed by other statements. Suppose our expression is matching with case 2, then control will skip the case 1, directly come to the case 2, and this code block 2 will be executed and it comes out of the switch. Suppose expression is matching with case 3, it will skip both case 1 and case 2, the control will directly come to the case 3 and this code block 3 will be executed and it comes out of the switch statement. Suppose our expression is not matching with any of these cases, then it will directly come to the, skipping all these cases, directly come to the default part, and code block n in this case will be executed and comes out of the program. So this is how switch statement works. This is called as multi-way selection because there are multiple choices available in switch statement, also in else if ladder. But in simple if, it is called as one-way selection because only one choice is there. In if else, it is called as two-way selection because there are only two choices. We will see an example program for switch statement. So switch is also called as multi-way selection statement in C, just like your else if ladder statements or cascaded if else statement. Because in switch also there are multiple choices available, so whichever choice is matching with the constant we are reading, so that particular block of the program will be executed. So for example, here I am going to write the program which is going to calculate, which will work as a calculator using C program, and using switch I am going to write the calculator, simple calculator program, where first I have initialized and declared an OP variable, which is an operator of type character, and number 1, 2 and result are of type float. So initially it will ask us to enter two numbers which are of type operators, which will act as operands. So with the help of scanf I am going to read those two numbers are of type float, therefore we use format specifier %f number 1 and 2. So after reading these two numbers, it is going to ask to enter an operator also. So again I am going to read the operator. So operator is of type character. So format specifier is %c ampersand op. So after reading the two numbers and after reading the operator, now the next step is using switch. We'll check the condition. Switch is a keyword. In between the parentheses I am going to write the constant. Here it is of type, it is OP, so I have given OP. Then inside the switch block we are going to use one more keyword called as case. So case plus, if the operator is of type plus, then it will enter to this particular block and execute this part of the program. So in result I am going to store n1 plus, it is going to add two numbers and store it in the result. So in switch statements we are going to use one more keyword called as break. So break is used to come out of the switch statement. After it performs the addition of two numbers, stores the result here, it comes out of the statement. So if the case plus is not matching with the operator, then it will go and check the next case. Suppose it is minus operator. Then it will check whether operator is minus, then it will skip this part of the program, directly come to minus part, and again it will calculate the subtraction n1 minus n2, stores the result in the result variable and again break. So like this you can use any operators you want, any arithmetic operators. For example, for multiplication, division, you can do it using switch statements. And if none of these are matching with the OP, then it will go to the default part and it is going to print on the screen invalid operator. And break comes out of the switch statement. So after that you can, using printf statement, you can print the result on the screen. So result is of type float. So %f comma result. So that particular result will be printed on your screen. So let's see one output example how it works. So first thing it asks is enter numbers. So there are two numbers, say I enter 5 and 10. So after that, reading numbers, next step it will ask to enter an operator. So if I enter plus operator, what it does, it will come inside switch, and operator I am reading is of type plus. So it will come to the case, this block, and execute this part. So n1 plus n2, that is 5 plus 10, result 15 will be stored in the result variable, and that will be using printf statement. It will print on the screen as 15. Suppose one more example we will take in the output. say again it will ask to enter the numbers. I read 20 and 10. So after that it will ask to enter an operator. Suppose I enter operator as ampersand. So this ampersand operator is not matching with the new operator I read is ampersand. So this ampersand operator is not matching with any of the cases. So it will skip all the cases. Directly the control will come to the default part and print the message invalid operator on your screen. So this is how switch statement works. So there are three keywords you need to remember when you are dealing with switch statement. One is switch keyword, another is case, and the next one is break. So if the operator is matching with whatever operator we are reading here, it will go to that particular block and execute that particular block of code and comes out of the program. So the difference between else if ladder and switch is, though both are multi-way selection statements, in else if ladder each if condition will be checked until it becomes true. But here in case, in switch case, only that particular block will be executed which is matching with the operator. So this is faster and saves lot of time compared to the else if ladder.
See one example program for switch statement. So in C language, switch statement is also a multi-way selection statement. So in this program we are going to simulate a simple calculator using switch case. So first let me add the header files, then inside main function let's declare an variable which is of type character. So operator is the variable name here, and then I am going to declare three variables, num1, num2, result of type floating data type. Then using printf, let's print this message, enter two numbers as operands on your screen. Then using scanf, since numbers I have declared of type floating, so %f format specifier we have to use, ampersand number 1, ampersand number 2 to read the numbers. So after reading the numbers, one more printf statement, message enter an arithmetic operators. Among these four operators we have to choose one and enter, read one of these operators. So using scanf, let's read that operator which is of type character, that's why %s. Since it is a string we have to use %s. Then switch is the keyword we have to use, and then in between these two parentheses you have to write the operator. Here operator is the constant which we are going to read, so that whatever you read here, that variable should be written here in between the parentheses in front of switch. So after that, inside switch we write cases. So case is one more keyword you have to remember in switch statement. So first case is plus. So here we are reading either plus, minus, star or slash, one of these constants using this operator variable. So that we are going to compare with whether it is matching with our case. First case is plus. So in front of case plus we will calculate the result to add num1 and num2 and print that result in the using printf statement. So when we add two numbers, what is the result we are going to get, that we need to print. When we are using switch statement, you have to again remember one more keyword, that is break. break helps us to come out of the switch statement. So next case is minus. So in this we will calculate the result num1 minus num2. So using minus operator we are going to subtract two numbers, then print that result on the screen. And then use the break keyword to come out of that switch statement. Then case next is asterisk star, which is used to multiply two numbers. So result, then we will multiply two numbers num1 into num2. Then print the result using printf statement. Num1 operator num2 and then finally the result, then break. Then the fourth case is slash, that is used to divide two numbers. So result is equal to num1 slash num2, that is num1 divided by num2, and then the result is stored in result variable that we are going to print it using printf statement. So after printing the result, next is default. So one more keyword you have to remember is default. So default part in switch statement is an optional part. If you do not include also, switch statements will work. But when you include default part, but if the operator here what we are reading is not matching with any of these cases, then the control by default it will come to the automatically it will come to the default part and execute the statements written in this default part. So in our case I will write in the default part this message, error unsupported operator. Close the switch. So this means what? If you have not entered plus, minus, star, division, one of these, then it will come out to the control will come to the default part and it will print unsupported operator. If you enter any operator other than these four, then it is going to print this error message. So close the switch and then so if you do not want to print the result again and again in every case statements, then this is the comment line I have written. So instead of writing every time printf here, you can just include at the end also. That is also fine. Then use the getch function to get a character on the screen. Then close the main function. Now let's see if there are any errors. I'll compile, no errors, then run the program. So enter two numbers as operands. This is the first message you are going to get. So we need to enter read two numbers. Say I read 3 and 6. So now it is going to ask enter an arithmetic operator among these four, plus, minus, star and slash. Suppose I enter plus. That means the result we should get is 9. Since we have read 3 and 6 are of type floating and result also we have read as floating type, we have declared as floating type, that's why we are going to get the results in the floating point number. Next, let me run once again. So let me read two numbers, say 30 and 20. So this time operator minus I enter. So we are going to get the result as subtraction of 30 and 20 and 10. That means what? The operator what we are reading here, this operator, if it is minus, then automatically the control will come to the case minus. It will not execute this, it will not go through case plus, directly control will jump to the case minus and subtract these two numbers, store the result here and print the result on screen. Suppose once again let me run the program, enter two numbers, this time say I enter 2 and 4 and say star, then it will multiply these two numbers and gives the result product of these two. That means it is the operator what I am reading here is star, so it is not matching with plus and minus, so directly it will come to the case star multiplication and gives the result on the screen. So this is also multi-way selection, and else if ladder also is multi-way selection, but the only difference between switch and else if ladder is here in else if ladder each and every if statements it is going to read, check the condition, then only it will come to the default part. But in switch statement it will, if the operator here, if the constant is not matching with any of the cases, then it will directly go to the default, or it will go to only that particular case where the constant is matching with that case. So now let me run once again and say I enter two numbers 4 and 5, and suppose I am not entering any of these four arithmetic operator. Say I enter ampersand, which is not there in these, which is not matching with these four operator, then it will go to the default part and print this error message unsupported operator. That means ampersand is not matching with one of any of these plus, minus, star and slash, so the control automatically goes to default part and print this error message. So this is how switch statement works.